Our architects of survival, they helped us survive. They weren't exactly teaching us how to live and cultivate balance. So we're dislodging habits and misunderstandings about the world, if you want, and our experience in it as humans. This is a fire season where we're not entirely external all the time. We're really called to be internal and to bring that in balance. Welcome everyone to the Soul Weather, the July forecast. My costume is not suggesting so much, but here we are in of the fire season officially, and guided by the Tortoise and the Phoenix. And I do know that I'm channeling them today. Who knows if anybody else might show up. So I'm just gonna go straight in. Give me a sec and let's see where we get to. So the first thing is the tortoise is saying a lot of people might be misunderstanding me and misunderstanding the message. The tortoise is slow, yes, but it's not stuck and it doesn't offer resistance. The tortoise actually, the momentum is there. It's simply slow, strategic, methodical, and steady, which is very, very different than stuck, resistant, or even cranky. Now, I don't know about you guys, but what I've been noticing, and you might have the same thing going on in your lives, is that have you noticed that there's things that you kind of have to do right now that are things that you've been resisting for a while, or things that are a little bit more challenging for you to focus on? This is the message that is coming through with the tortoise, with the inner messenger of the heart, the phoenix. We cannot forget that it's both. And the tortoise is very strong. And look at the shell that it's carrying on its back. It does carry a home. It carries a shelter. Now, sure, the tortoise is not like a busy beaver, right? I don't know if you've ever observed beavers, but they are going and going, and they're going this way and that way, and they're chopping this tree, and they're dragging the tree, and they're building the dam, and it's every day, right? And there's a kind of, with the beavers, there's a kind of compulsion to it, and there's a buoyancy to it. The tortoise, you know, it would be the equivalent of getting up in the morning and pushing that log and getting that log, by the end of the day, closer to the dam. That's it. Not here and there and chopping a tree, and you know, it's like you show up, the log is there, and you push. And you strategically, methodically embrace this opportunity to be in a productive cycle, and yet do it slowly in such a way that we are learning how to work and how to get stuff done without getting ourselves in a tizzy and getting exhausted. So the tortoise has a lot of wisdom to convey to us in terms of stamina. Not endurance, stamina. So and to really appreciate this idea of one step at a time, and to really give ourselves that appreciation for the step that we're taking today, the energy it takes to put that step forward, And then at the end of the day, with compassion, reward ourselves and appreciate what we've done. So a lot of us have something that's just showing up on our to-do list that's just one of those things. And it might be something you've been avoiding, most likely avoiding, or something that brings up a lot of different emotions. The tortoise is there in this whole period of time where we're still clearing out our mental body. We're clearing out resistance. So we're not going to get this thing done, or whatever it is, you know, in terms of activity. We're not going to get it done by gritting our teeth. We're not going to get it done with activating our adrenals like crazy and getting all excess fire about it. We're going to do it methodically, which with the Phoenix as medicine built into it, it means we're also going to have an open heart, and we're going to perhaps learn how to touch joy. And know that the joy is in the how you do what you do, as opposed to what it is that you're doing. This is a huge, huge thing for all of us to embrace, right? That joy is something, it's a concoction that comes from within. And this is where the Phoenix is fluttering in our hearts and creating that buoyancy that's been mentioned. But the Phoenix is coming in and saying, I'm also here because I'm like a little feather. I'm tickling your heart song. I'm doing the magic wand wiggle over your wholesome yes. This is huge. And that's where the Phoenix is saying, that's why the tortoise needs to be there, because the tortoise is what's showing you the rhythm that you need to embrace right now, so that you can absorb and liberate this teaching and absorb the medicine coming our way in terms of heart healing and understanding our heart emperor and our sovereignty and our wholesome yes, right? We're all doing like the Phoenix is saying, we're right, the boundaries thing, which is not a language I use wholesome yes and wholesome no. We're so concerned about boundaries, we've forgotten, in a way, from a point of view of embracing a forward momentum, to embrace the yes. And our yeses have been very contaminated over the years, right? We were taught in an education system that was all about competition, all about performance, all about hierarchy and rating people. And so our yes often was, because we felt we had to prove ourselves, we had to pass the math test somehow. That's not the true yes. The wholesome yes is what the Phoenix is awakening in our hearts. It's like we're learning how to fly the kite. The feeling of the Phoenix as a kite in our hearts, fluttering and allowing it its freedom to flutter and to find where that wind is that picks up that flutter. So it's a very, very particular time, because in the winter, we did have a lot of fast water. And right now we have slow fire. It is slow and it is fire. And so it's an amazing opportunity for us to do so much healing, so much clearing in the heart space, so much clearing of stickiness, of sadness, of trauma, of despair, of weight, a sense of weightiness, heartbreak, all that stuff. Because the Phoenix right now, the big thing about this is in the rhythm of the tortoise, the Phoenix is saying, you're going to find the true me, not the excitement of buying something new or, right, that kind of more, the kind of joy that's connected to something external. You're going to find that place where there's that lightness, which is your true self. And the rhythm of the tortoise is going to serve all of us in that journey toward the true self, toward, in Hinduism, they call it, and in yoga, they call it the Satchitananda, that place of bliss. Now, bliss is a tall order, so we're going to just start with joy, with a sense of quiet joy. Anandamayi Ma is coming in. Give me a sec, let me adjust. Anandamayi Ma is bringing in the word balance. This whole medicine journey that we're talking about in terms of these sacred animals and in terms of the tortoise and the phoenix is all about teaching us balance. Our architects of survival, they helped us survive. They weren't exactly teaching us how to live and cultivate balance and cultivate ultimately harmony. Harmony is always a yin and yang, it's a balancing. And she agrees when the Phoenix brought in our education system and the environments that we've been in just haven't served us in terms of really equipping us with the tools to achieve balance. And we're confused, right? And survival is not balance. In fact, survival is just balancing out trauma, just like courage is balancing out challenge. That's not the balance we're talking about. We're talking about being set free from balance, being in relationship to pain and in relationship to suffering and in relationship to trauma. So Anandamayi Ma is suggesting that the word flutter that the Phoenix brought into the conversation is very accurate because in terms of heart cleansing and heart opening, there needs to be right now, right, a kind of movement which is that suggested by the wings of the Phoenix and by the feathers, which is dislodging daggers that are in the heart or wet blankets that are on the heart or whatever. There needs to be some sort of movement for this sense of certainty that we have that we cannot be liberated from X, Y, and Z. So Anandamayi Ma is saying this is very gentle medicine, but it's deep. It's going in there because we've been for 6 months, we've been looking at architects of survival. She's saying we're getting even under that. We're getting into the pattern of the mind that keeps constructing this notion and this experience that we call pain or suffering. So we're dislodging habits and misunderstandings about the world, if you want, and our experience in it as humans. In this balance, what she's saying is we have an opportunity right now with the medicine that's available to us to learn how to allow for the experience of joy to coexist with pain, to allow this coexistence and interdependence of the experience in the same way that we witness every day, we witness day and night. They're not contradictory. When we speak of the 24 hours, we're not like constantly going, and then it was night, and then it was day. Like we just live it, like we just accept it. And so this is what she's trying to say, is that we're in the soup right now where we have this amazing opportunity to feel and experience the coexistence of both and letting it move through with the flutter of the wind and the flutter of these wings, phoenix wings, and the feather and the feathers. So it does require an opening to it. It does require some surrender, I would say, with what I'm seeing and sensing from Anandamayi Ma. If you're running around and you're not embracing the rhythm of the tortoise, that flutter will not reach you. So there is, right, embracing that rhythm and also letting that rhythm do you. Opening up to the medicine and allowing this energy to move, not just in the front of your heart, but above your heart, below your heart, on either side of the heart, and lo and behold, even at the back of the heart. You're allowing yourself to be touched, to be opened, and to be taught a different way of, in a sense, carrying this business of the heart in your chest, in your body, and in your spirit. And it's interesting because here it's so cold, like we're all behaving like it's December and we're in the house, and so and if it's hot and excessively hot, of course you can't move fast in the heat either. So let the elements be with you, let the weather be with you, let the environment support you, and we're all being supported in different ways, I think, by this weather. And of course, so much of this is global warming, and so much of this is environmental mayhem going on. And so, but at the same time, it's like what I'm getting, it's like be with it. Don't let yourself get all cranky on the surface with it and create drama around it. Like the tortoise doesn't have drama as its middle name, right? It will just go in the shell. It's like, okay, time out. I'm just gonna go in the shell, and it'll just wait. And then that, whatever external, whether it's weather or whatever else, whatever external quote unquote disturbance is going to pass. So really don't let yourself go into the waves, right? The turtle is steady, or the tortoise is steady, and then, this is a fire season where we're not entirely external all the time. We're really called to be internal and to bring that in balance. Which will also come back to this notion of the heart, and the phoenix is coming in right now in terms of self-care, in terms of practices, in terms of what does being internal mean to you. We're not talking about hiding. We're not talking about freezing. We're not talking about fawning. We're talking about learning how to pull in without a sense of heaviness or drama about it. So whenever you feel, and this is now my language, when I talk about how we tend to add exclamation marks after everything, right? If you're starting to go in 25 exclamation mark mode when you're commenting on something, slow right down. The tortoise doesn't even have one exclamation mark in its vocabulary, basically. It just does not have it. It's like, oh, okay, in, that's it, done. Not this whole event. And the Phoenix is saying this is where the teaching is so particular, because the Phoenix is also saying, you know, I've been used so much for the fireworks and in a way for showing off or being equated with a sense of success in a kind of dramatic external way. And this is where the Phoenix is saying, no, 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 right? It's like we're not tooting our horns here, right? This is not the big like accomplishments of status or financial or otherwise. We're talking about the heart song, something that is absolutely unique to you, that is really ready to emerge, right? With a kind of purity and honesty and integrity. And the tortoise is the one that's carrying, you know, driving the bus to the station, so to speak. And I'm getting from Anandamayi Ma and the Phoenix here, it's like this is a time where many of you may be called to support other people and loved ones at this time, where you may be called into that kind of service where someone is in crisis. Whether you know them personally or not, there is some generosity here. Remember to be generous with your time and let yourself show up and trust that whatever you're showing up for to support others, there is no such thing as you yourself versus others. It's all one soup. And knowing that the genius and this archetypes that are going to be activated have something to do with your presence with others. And others can be animals, it can be all trees, it can be, of course, other humans and children and folks in various disenfranchised situations. So in all of this flutter of the heart, what I'm getting from everybody right now is ultimately we're moving toward a tenderness of the heart, to not be so protected about supposedly our tender hearts. And it's not lost on me right now as I say this, that the tortoise is offering you its shell to retreat into while you adapt to this level of tenderness. You're not being sent out there running down the street naked is what I'm saying. You are being supported with an animal that inherently has tremendous protection available to it, but without being in any of the survival modes and any of the architect of survival modes. This is the thing. It's inherent, without exclamation marks, that you are safe. And you're safe in your tenderness. And Ma is reminding me of something that she shared at one point in some transmission a while back. You know, how she was saying what it's like to be her, where she's saying, you know, I'm with all the suffering and I'm with all the joy, all at once, all the time. And it's a mighty fine place to be. So this is a completely busting open of this notion of heaven and hell as being separate, or as being, right? The word heaven is 25 exclamation marks and the word hell has 25 or more exclamation marks. It's getting out of this magnitude and perhaps even overwhelm that might occur when you think and about yourself being available to be a witness for all the suffering and all the joy. She's showing me that the sense I'm getting in my body here is that it's a pretty fine cruising altitude. It's not where you're getting the turbulence. You are past the winds, past the storms. It's a mighty fine cruising altitude that is not separate. It's everything together at once. And all of them together right now are showing me that this is going to be true. You keep bringing it back to what it's like for you today. What is this, all this suffering and all this joy? What is it for you today? How is that showing up for you? And then having your checklist of, were you being a good tortoise that day? And were you feeling the flutter and allowing the flutter of the phoenix to fully express? And are you also really acknowledging the power of these archetypes that are being ignited in us at this time? It's really a place they're showing me that just doesn't have this notion of this is heavy or this is intense or this is too much. It's really a place where, and I think that's the surrender that came up at the beginning. It's a place of it just is, and trusting that isness and trusting how it's manifesting for you today. In all the details and intricacies of your life, in all the big, larger strokes that are expressing through your life. And we're being reminded again by the phoenix. It's very important that if you're falling into a hole and you're having big emotions such as sadness and despair and anger or any of that whole range of emotions, really check from what part of your life that is and what the story is there. Right now, if you can imagine, if these feathers are going in and moving, right, they're also moving some of those densities. And those densities will be felt and expressed, but do not project it on your life now. Really pay attention to what you're being shown and where that's coming from. I mean, we have big stuff going on in some of our lives, so it's not saying that all sadness is not necessarily, right, connected to something now, but it's the broad stroke of painting the whole picture with that particular sadness or challenge. that's what we're being shown is not useful for us right now. So just keep thinking of those feathers, keep thinking of that flutter, and do whatever you need to do to get a sense and a felt sense of that flutter. Whether that's, for me, of course, I'm always reminded of the flutter when I'm in my kayak, but we all have those aspects of our lives. You know, yoga does that to me as well. So it's really, really important to recognize those things and those activities that allow us to feel the flutter, remember the flutter, and feel the eternity of that flutter. It's unconditional and it's eternal. It's not something that's conditional and specific. So in that sense, Ma is saying in conclusion that we're always reminded that everything has this inherent directionality in it, that everything ultimately does want to correct itself and does want to move toward harmony. That there's an inherent momentum toward harmony, toward an open heart, toward loving kindness, and of course respect for all living beings. Yeah. Namaste.
Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.